Oh, Swedish meatballs. They just came out of the oven and they were too good to wait for the gravy to be ready. So I snuck one. Don't tell anybody, okay? It's a secret just between you and me. All right. There we go. I am Chef Leander, and this is Small Kitchen, Big Taste. What would the holidays be without a nice bowl of gravy on the table? Regardless of what you want to use it for, there is a vegan gravy that I love. I've been working on this for a couple of years, and I've borrowed lots of ideas from lots of friends. But this is my take on vegan mushroom gravy, and it's a great savory addition to any meal you're putting on the table. So we're going to get started, and in the process we're going to learn some things about a couple of specific techniques. First of all, this little guy, that's the root end of the onion, and we're going to cut that off, but we're going to cut it as close as we can because we're going to use this end of the onion to hold the onion together while we dice it. Then we'll take the top end of the onion off and cut vertically, top to bottom, on the onion. Take the skin off, like so. Cut up. Then, I talk a lot about plank and sticks and dice. With an onion, because of the round nature of the way it's built in layers, you don't really have to do that. And here's a quick way to dice an onion. I've got the root end of the onion here. I've got the flower end of the onion here. Because it is in circles, I can just kind of go radially into that circle. Each slice of the knife is a slightly different angle. And then when I cut it off on the other end, it automatically cuts into a dice. So that's the fast way to dice up onions when you need to. And even if you don't need to dice it up quickly, you do want to dice it up without tears. Now we're going to turn the hot plate on. The oil is hot and glazed in the bottom of the pan. And the goal is to get that onion to caramelize. And that happens when the onions turn a caramel color. While that's stirring, I'm going to cut up some more mushrooms here. So now you can see how that has started to develop some fond in the bottom. The onions have started to caramelize and turn brown. That also means they've gotten sweeter. And so now they're ready for the mushrooms. We're going to cook the mushrooms. The next thing to go in will be the garlic. So I'm going to start mincing the garlic. While that's going on, we'll chop the garlic up. By the way, I don't know if you've ever noticed or not, but almost all knives have a curve at the far end. And the reason that is so you can rock on that curve, and that allows you to continue to cut and to cut quickly without picking your knife up all the time and rock it on the tip of the knife. I've got a really good anchor here with my fingers on top. You can see my other fingers are not anywhere in the path of the knife blade, and that just makes it super safe and super quick. Those mushrooms are looking really good. You can see how most of the fond came up off the bottom of the pan. I'm going to put the garlic in. I'm putting the garlic in at the last minute because I don't want it to cook too long so it gets bitter. So when you're making a dish like this, it's all about layering the flavors. And that's why we want to be sure and get that fond off the bottom. I prefer, when I'm cooking, I prefer to cook with wine. Sometimes I actually put it in the food. But no, wine is a great way. It's an extra layer of flavor, and it's a great way to get the fond up off the bottom of the pan. Remember, that process is called deglazing. So I've got a really hot pan here, and you can see that in the pan, as I'm stirring here, you can see that all of that fond, all of that flavor has come up off the bottom of the pan. I'm letting this wine boil down so it concentrates its flavor. So this is some tamari, and we have the Simon and Garfunkel quartet: parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme, and a little bit of black pepper. A cup and a half flavored broth rather than a cup of plain water. So we're going to let that come to a boil. I have my better than bouillon vegetable base, just like that. So you can see that our gravy has come to a boil. It's reduced a bit. I am going to turn the heat down just a little bit, and I'm going to make a slurry. A slurry is one of the tools in the chef's kitchen to thicken a sauce. And it's usually done with cornstarch. I've got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and some water. You have to stir it well because the whole process is to get this to be smooth and lump-free, and that means lump-free gravy. I've got it stirred, it's liquid, it's going in the gravy. Now, we're going to bring this gravy back up to a boil, because if you don't boil the cornstarch, it will continue to have that kind of floury taste on the back of the gravy. But you can see how quickly this has helped that gravy thicken up. Look at how nice and thick and rich that gravy is. Let's see what we've got here. That's tasting really good. For my taste, I'd like to have it just to have a little more pepper. We're going to squeeze some lemon juice in to brighten it up. So there we have it. We have the gravy looking great. And if you want to put it on the table and serve it just like this, people will be amazed. It's awesome. But I want to do Swedish meatballs. We're going to put this in the blender. Now I should make a comment that when you're blending hot liquids, please be very careful. I'm going to protect myself with a towel over the top. This is not going to take very long. Let's speed it up. And there you have it, a fantastic vegan, savory, dark gravy. Take a look at this. We're going to set this up so we can have some Swedish meatballs. The crew's been here filming all morning. We're going to take a lunch break. And there we are. We have beautiful meatballs. And then, always a little bit of jam in the corner of the plate. Got a Swedish meal. So normally it's lingonberry jam. Today it's marionberry. Toss a little confetti on there. And lunch is ready to go. I'm Chef Leander. To your health. If you've watched this today, then you've seen our 50th episode. And we appreciate your support and your encouragement. We love getting emails and text messages from you. Please send us your questions and talk to us. This is about what you want to learn to cook as much as it is anything else. When you're at the website, make sure you rate the recipe. And when you're watching the videos, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Bon appetit.